So what was it? It was like on Friday, Dustin came up to me and said, "Hey, I got to talk to you." I was like, "All right, what's up?" He's like, "I'm the one who put the water in the tequila bottle, but it wasn't my fault." I said, "What do you mean?" What are you doing?
They're stuck on me on the camera, so I'm mouthing your story, I guess. I'm trying to help out with the direction of the podcast.
No, wait, do a little hand for him.
Why is Gus's voice coming out of Burnie's mouth?
So they said, so Doug said it was him, but he did it because of someone else.
When I was a little kid, I was getting ready for my first day of summer camp, and I was balls to the walls excited. I was so happy I was going to get to spend like a week with my friends at this like ropes. They had like a ropes course, and like they played tag. It was awesome. So I was really, really excited. That morning, I take my vitamins. I have a little bit of a glass of milk. I'm getting ready. I had some leftover like candy from like the movies or something. I had some gummy worms, those bright crawlers.
Who the fuck has leftover candy
Dude,
from the movies?
Well, my dad buys a lot of candy at the movies.
You pack it out of there?
It's like my see, here's what my dad does. My dad doesn't buy movie theater candy. He buys like in bulk.
Does?
Yeah, he buys in bulk. Like our cabinets back in San Antonio are just stocked with like
Well, then what did the
awesome
movie
candy.
have to do with it? If you
Well, because I started eating it at the movie, because he buys like the huge like bulk size candy things that you have to smuggle in like in purses. Pockets won't work.
And you're not allowed to eat the candy that's in the cupboard
No.
until you go through a movie theater?
Well, no, what I'm saying is I had the movie isn't fucking important.
But it's a
Well,
weird-
I had started eating. I had started. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's a weird detail to include if it's not important.
Do you take milk out of the fridge and then walk up to a cow and drink it?
What the fuck? I don't understand. Look, so I'm eating gummy worms. I'm excited. We're getting ready. I get all dressed. I get my little backpack. I got my little hiking boots on.
I like everything you own is little.
How old are you?
I was definitely in elementary school. I was maybe second grade. I think it was second grade.
Second grade, and your parents are letting you eat a breakfast of gummy worms?
No, that's what I'm saying. They didn't let me. I still had it like left over just in my room. This
From the movie.
unopened bag of gummy worms
Right.
from the fucking movies. Do you want to know what movie I saw?
Yeah,
dude?
what movie did you see?
I
I'm
don't
sure you wrote it down,
remember.
Miles. Pull out your cue card.
Clearly it was
Anyways,
engaged. You couldn't
diary.
finish all the gummy worms.
Anyways, we get in the car. Well, before we get in the car, I take one last swig of milk, but it'd been like a while. It'd been a couple of hours. Like I got up really early, had breakfast, and I dicked around on the Sega Genesis for a while, and then I'm finally ready to go. But it had gotten like really warm, and I don't know. I think it was just the fact that I was nervous. But in my head, I will always just remember that last kind of warm swig of milk. On the drive there, my stomach started feeling really like queasy. I got that feeling like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
My mom was just telling me, oh, it's fine, everything's gonna be fine. I was like, oh, Mom, I don't know if I can do this. And we're about to approach, because like we were carpooling, we're picking up my friends, we're about to approach like my friend's house, like it's right like 2 houses down. I go, Mom, and like it just starts leaking out from my fingers.
Oh,
so she
God.
immediately stops the car, and in front of all of my friends who are 2 houses down, I run out of the car and I like vomit what looks like the white, milky animatronic blood from Aliens that all the robots had, mixed with neon bright gummy worms
Good
all over the
Lord.
sidewalk. And I will always, I think it was just because I was nervous, but I always remember that toxic radioactive vomit with slightly warm milk. So my milk has to be the freshest of milk.
Think how close you were to being the kid who threw up on the first day of summer school. And that's something that traumatizes kids for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, at least you got it out of the way in front of like a couple of close friends. They'll make fun of you, but it's not like out in the wild. You know, that shit's contained.
That's true.
Do you know people that have thrown up at school, like in public when they were younger, or have been thrown up on?
Kid pissed his pants in the middle of a school play that I was in.
Yeah.
It was awful. You never forget.
That kind of shit traumatizes
You
people
never
forever.
forget, man. It's bad.
I've known a handful of people over my life who threw up at school at a young age, and it made them paranoid of throwing up for the rest of their lives.
Did they do the sawdust?
Children are terrible.
Yeah, they did horrible sawdust. And, yeah.
I shit myself when I was in kindergarten. That was bad. There was a
No, it was?
that same year in kindergarten was the only year I ever had to take the bus to school, and there was always, and maybe it's just my memory's wrong, but I remember there was this one kid who pissed himself like once a week on that bus. He probably only did it once, but in my memory, it's like that kid. That was that one kid who always pissed himself on the bus.
Did you have this? Everybody has the smelly kid in their class, right? Did it, or was that? For me, a lot of young kids, everybody knew a
kids
smelly kid.
smell.
There was one kid that was constantly smelly
Yeah,
in
we had a
my
smelly kid.
kindergarten class.
Yeah.
His unfortunate name was Jaime with an M, but to all us little kids, it was so easy. Like God had done it for us. We just called him Heine because he smelled like a Heine.
Oh, God.
Poor kid, man. I
There
feel
was
terrible.
One time when I was in 3rd grade, we were sitting down. I think we were taking like a math test or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you know it's 3rd grade, so you have like the same teacher all day.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there taking my test, and all of a sudden it smells like shit. I'm like, oh my God, like Like at first, I think maybe someone farted. Like, no, this is
There's like a
staying.
distinct difference, isn't
This
it?
is
You can
staying
tell.
here. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
there is shit near me somewhere, and the teacher's walking up and down the aisles to like make sure no one's cheating, and then she starts going, "Does anybody need to go to the bathroom?" She's like, "If anybody needs to go to the bathroom, go ahead. It's okay." No one got up. Whoever that was, man, he fucking sat on it. Whoever it was, and like, I came from a small town, so we all knew each other to the point we graduated high school. He never came clean. Whoever it was, I know those people. Like I knew those people for the next 10 years of my life. And whoever that was,
Smart kid. That's a smart
He's
kid.
taking that to the grave, man.
Did you ever see that Derek comedy sketch with Brian, the kid that likes to skateboard?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one. Yeah.
My name is Brian. I like to skateboard.
I used to get
Probably wasn't the kid's fault.
road sick all the time or car sick, and so if we drive like to Pennsylvania or Baltimore or something like that, like a few hours, if we didn't stop like near like the 3-hour mark, I'd start getting sick. So one time I gotten particularly like car sick or whatever, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I gotta pull over. I'm in the back seat, and my mother's like, yeah, we'll pull over when we get to the rest stop. I'm like, gotta pull over, and I was with like a friend of mine. He was coming with us. And I start, like, when Miles said it, I start puking, and I'm like, I go like this,
And it's straight.
and I'm like, but it wasn't a little, it was full vomit, like, and it was like, I kid you not, spraying through my fingertips, right?
It's like trying to clog a
through
leaky
every
pipe.
crevice in my
like
fingertips.
little jets.
It was shooting out, and the kid next to me was like, ooh, and he was like climbing up the left side of the car, like he was in a sinking ship and he was trying to climb out of water. He was like, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. It was fucking funny as shit. Jesus.
You know that kid still telling that story? He's like, man, I've seen some shit.
He's probably paranoid anytime you get to the car with somebody.
Oh my god.
He's like,
it's the
please
buffer.
don't sit close to me in the car.
It was everywhere.
Gavin's not doing
No,
too
it's
well.
just like I've been surrounded by puke in my childhood. Like I'm sure everyone has. The worst was when.
I'm sorry.
Well, but you can, kids
Imagine
vomit
you
all
like
the time.
basting in vomit.
The worst was that I
Oh,
kind of
good
get.
lord.
I kind of get car sick too. It's bad when I'm in the back of a car for some
Yep.
reason. And usually I'm pretty good at holding it. But once my friend was also getting pretty car sick, and he was sat in the front. So he winds down the window and just chunders. But the wind takes it and smears it all down the side of my window. So I'm looking at like bits of corn and carrot.
Oh, Gavin, we're done.
And the wind is like rolling it in the sick along the windows.
Not
You
puke,
fucking asshole.
Not puke, but one time I was in a car with my brothers, and one of them was in the front.
We're done.
No, it's not about puke.
Change topic.
No,
Change
it's not
topics.
about vomit. It's not about vomit.
Okay.
My brother was riding in the car. I forget exactly who was who in this scenario. Well, there's actually two stories.
Stop it.
One, he spit out the passenger window. It went back and came back through the window in the back seat and it hit the person in the face in the back seat. And then another time, a friend of mine was over my house and we were upstairs in my brother's room and he had a bunk bed. And he was on top of the bunk bed. And he was laying down eating Taco Bell. And he was just chewing and chewing and chewing. And my friend looked up with his mouth open and a piece fell out of my brother's mouth and landed in his mouth while he was looking up. I can't laugh. He was like,
Go ahead. I think they should just mute both of our mics.
Oh
during
no,
stories like
it's
this,
a
'cause
good idea.
that
We should
can't be-
unplug.
That can't be good to listen to.
When I was in the 5th grade,
Man alive.
I had to ride
Oh,
the school bus.
no. Are you okay?
I had to ride
Look,
the
we
school
might-
bus home, and a kid in the front seat vomited while we were going uphill, and it trailed like a river to the back of the bus.
Okay, that's
And all
enough.
these little kids
Stop.
watching, they're
Done.
like,
Stop.
Done.
So-
Let me ask you this question though. Why
Let's have a
does
breather. Let's have a breather.
Oh my God.
I worked in a supermarket for 3 years on fruit and veg was my section. The amount of stuff I dropped upstairs in the warehouse. I once knocked over an entire cage, like taller than me, 2 stacks worth of apples, and they just like go. I was like, well, that's like 1,200 quid worth of apples. I can't chuck them away. Just put them all back on the shelf. I once got in a lot of trouble because I used to drop stuff constantly. And what I would do is, if I was like stacking the veg and there's customers around me and I dropped an apple, you want a beer?
Yeah.
If I dropped an apple on the floor, you're meant to throw it away, but I did it all the time, and you get in trouble for wastage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I'd pick it up off the floor and like do a little lap of my section, pretend to throw it away, and then just put it back like 30 seconds later. And one time this woman followed me as I did that, and she was like, "I saw what you did.
You walked around.
I seen it. And he
seen
put the
the
apple
eyes.
back. And I was like,
You were fucked.
and I was busted. I was like, I did do that. I did. I'll take it. And I just walked off. And I stayed like in the background for like half an hour. Yeah.
It'd be
I don't
funny
know.
if you did another lap and you came back to put it back and she was there again.
still there.
Like, God
Why do
damn
you
it.
keep doing this? I know what
Lady,
you're doing.
Don't you have stuff to do? Get out of here.
You got a list there, lady. Keep going.
She
Come
was
on,
like-
bread's not gonna buy itself.
She, you could tell like she'd hit the jackpot. She couldn't believe she was like so excited that she caught
Did
me
you
doing
get
it.
in trouble? Did she tell anyone?
I think she did, but I was pretty hardworking. I never used to get in trouble there. I just hit for a while.
Yeah, people keep asking. They want to know what is the deal with your fucking hair.
I got bored. Here's what happened.
You got bored, so you're waiting for your hair to grow?
No.
Is that the logic?
No.
It's a very long-term boredom.
No. My hair is gross because I just don't get it cut very often. I get my hair cut like twice a year, maybe.
Same.
We have pretty much the same hair. He and I.
So I was up. This is like maybe 2 weeks ago. I get up and I was getting ready for work, whatever, and I went under the cabinet in the bathroom, and there's a
Glass of milk.
Yeah, there's a glass of milk in there. I drank that, felt fine. There was also a sandwich in there that was delicious, but there was a straightener in
I
there.
like the fact that you have to justify your discovery of the straight. It's like I was in a cave and I found this.
How
you
is
could
it
just say, you could just say I felt like straightening my hair.
No, I
Like,
didn't. You're not. That's besides the whole point. I didn't wake up and go, I'm going to straighten my hair today. I'm telling you, I woke up. I was getting ready. I opened the cabinet. I looked at the straightener and I was like, it's early. I'll straighten my hair.
Like a
today.
hair straight, like a
Yeah,
iron?
like an iron. I bought it like a year ago because I was at CVS and it was like I just moved into my apartment and I was just like
it's
buying
your hair
shit.
straightener.
No, yeah, it was mine.
Oh.
So I was buying things from my apartment and I was like, I'll get that. And as maybe you can attest, my fucking curly hair pisses me off sometimes. So in a
does
moment
piss you
of
off.
sitting at CVS, I was just like, maybe I'll use a straightener. I bought it, never even opened it out of the box. It was over a year ago. So a year later, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it, I'm like, today's the day. I'm just gonna fucking use it. Never used one
See,
before.
but the way you're telling the story seems like a drawn-out excuse.
Yeah.
Like Gavin is saying, it's like the guy who bought the straightener, he's an asshole, but I just happened to find it after I bought it a year later.
You could also tell it like, yes, I bought a straightener a year ago when I moved into my
Yeah.
apartment,
Yeah.
and I decided to use it one day.
Or I own a hair straightener and I use
But
that.
it becomes like
it.
I was delving under
No,
the covers.
no,
I
was
blew
eating-
off the dust.
I was
I have
eating
to
movie
tell the
theater
story.
candy.
I have to tell the story because everyone's like, why did you decide to do it? What changed? Like there was some cataclysmic event where I woke up one day and was like, today's the day.
A beam of light shone down
Yeah, that's how you're
on them.
That's how you're describing it. I was like, hey, what's that? Oh, I'll use that. I've never used that before. It was something I bought and wasted money on. Anyway, I used it and was like, whatever. So I've done it on and off. I didn't think it came out half bad. Gavin hates it.
I
but
hate it.
I don't give a shit. You look like a fucking douchebag, and I want to punch you in the face every day. But I don't go like, Gavin, get face surgery. I think Gavin, you know? I don't give a fuck what Gavin Free thinks about my hair.
I didn't do it to. I didn't.
Gavin, what is it about you that people threaten you with violence all the time?
He just, well, to me personally, like I sit next to Gavin all day, and he's very fucking annoying. He does any.
Well,
and-
you're angry too.
I'm angry, and he's annoying. See this face he's doing? Do the face. Do the face right here.
I
Tell
do
me
the
you don't want
face.
to punch us in the face when I'm already upset with him. Like he's pissing me off, and I'm like, Gavin, you're pissing me off. This
When
is
I
what he does.
when I can see him switching from like fake rage to like he's actually getting annoyed, I'll do my smug nostril flare face, which is basically.
Why would I want to punch that in the face?
I think it's the
You know what I
dopey
mean?
indifference.
You know?
Anybody at all played the Wii U? Anybody?
Well, I played at the Wii U experience. The Jack took me, Carrie, and Ray, and we all went down to some place downtown where they had like the Wii U. You could play Pikmin, you could play Zombie, you could play the Mario games.
So to answer the
yeah.
question, yes, you played a little bit.
I'm sorry, what? I fell asleep.
I mean, Jesus Christ, is this like the exposition podcast? You don't have to explain for 5 minutes the answer to a fucking question. No, I have not played the Wii
so
U
we
yet.
stopped off and got some movie theater candy, and then we got some stadium hot
I
dogs.
saw a Wii U commercial, and I thought about buying it. Then I went down to the store, and I looked at the line for the people waiting for the midnight launch, and it was kind of long, so I went home. Then I really regretted it, and I went to another store. No. Oh, my
So,
God.
Gus, I have played the Wii U. I played it this weekend, and it's fucking great. Give me a beer, would you? The cool thing about it is you load it up, and you see Mario in HD, and it's cool because you've never seen that before.
Yeah, because
Doesn't he look like
usually
Mario?
playing it on a screen that's this big, that's so far away you can't tell anyway.
Yeah, but there were Mario games on the fucking Wii, you
Yeah.
idiot.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm
What
telling
kind
you.
of shrug is that? He just counted your entire point, and you're like, man.
No, I was comparing it to like on a DS or something.
Yeah, but they
But
but
Mario
you have it
has
on TV.
always been a console game. It's been on every single console.
Well, it also doesn't matter because I said you get to see Mario in HD, and he goes, yeah, because before you only saw it on shitty screens. That's exactly what I fucking said. This is the first time you've seen it in HD.
What
Did he look that different?
It
Really?
just looked cool to see Mario big in an HD. It was very vibrant. It was cool to see it.
I'll never
Fuck you
forget
guys.
seeing Mario's face in 3D on the N64. That was
It's
cool.
just HD is just distance anyway. If you can't see the pixels, call it HD. Why not?
HD is just distance. So you're saying like an SD monitor, if it's far enough away, is HD?
It's high distance television.
It's high distance.
You have to be as far away as possible to use it.
Is that what it is? High distance and short distance?
That's what the U in Wii U says. Where you go over there
You-
and then watch it from a high
Wii
distance.
U.
But it was cool because I don't know how much you guys know about the Wii U, but it comes with this enormous controller that's like a tablet / controller, and it literally is like a controller this big.
Because that's what I want. A controller that's bigger. That's what I've been like, man, this 360 is great. Wish they had the original Duke controller back.
When I noticed stuff that I didn't notice at the time, like Ray always has these amazing moments where there was a time we were doing Capture the Tower, and it was between rounds, and I think Michael had died and he spawned somewhere else. So we're all like frantically trying to give Michael directions back to the course before it turns to night. We're like, no, go that way, and we've got a map, and his world hasn't loaded and stuff. And Ray just walks up to a wall, flicks the camera into third person, so it's pressed up against his face. He's like, hey, hey, internet, it's Ray. And then he starts like switching quickly between an empty hand and a sword. So it's like, oh, I love it whenever he does that. Oh, I'm gonna,
Miles, that's going to be
Makes
a
that
GIF for the end of time now. You idiots.
Congratulations. Welcome to the internet.
Yep.
There's that one-
Reddit. Before he leaves the office, he goes down to Chipotle. He gets himself a big like burrito.
Yeah,
He's
baby likes
happy.
that big burrito.
That was the creepiest thing.
I
you
bet
said
he
all
likes
day.
it stuffed in his mouth.
But here's what here's the thing, and this goes with all burrito places that I've ever had experience with. If you go and you talk up the person that's making your burrito and you're really friendly to them, you ask how their day is going, they will hook you up with
right.
a insane
I
amount.
I
Of
will say that
to be
that's
friendly.
fucking jack logic. If you wanna, if you happen to go and someone happens to talk to you,
people are laughing.
and
in
well,
this
it's like
studio.
if you happen to go and someone's like, oh, that's awesome, blah blah blah, I'll hook you up. But to go in with the mindset of like, okay, here's what you do.
Well, no.
No, and that's the first fucking thing that happened when I went to Freebirds with Jack. The first time I ever went to Freebirds, I was there with Jack, and Jack was like, he literally told me, he goes, hope you get like the big fat guy as the guy that gives you your food, because I hook you up with like double meat.
Well, sometimes you know,
It's
like,
who
here's the
gives
thing.
a shit?
If
It's
you go to
if I
Torchy's
want-
Taco,
if I want double meats, I'll just ask for double meats. I don't need to hope a fat guy gives me double meats so I can get a 50-cent fucking discount. It's like
No,
I
man.
don't give a shit
I
about
love that-
that.
I love that
I
extra
don't
stuff,
care.
man.
It's like I will not make an effort to try for that shit. If
But
I go
what's
up there,
the logic there?
it's
The
so
logic is
easy
that
though, just to
he's-
have a pleasant conversation with someone and get so
No,
much.
it's not.
the
No.
logic-
No, the
Maybe not for
logic,
you.
the logic, and honestly, it's not like a stereotype. Like people in Texas are fucking nice, and even more like genuine nice. But I'm just not used to it. I'm like, why are you so fucking nice to me?
Yeah, it's-
Like,
it's
what,
suspicious.
You want my blood? You're gonna harvest my
Yeah,
organs?
suspicious.
New Jersey, it's like, what do you want? Here's what I want. All right, here's your change. Get out. All right, fuck you, and then you walk out.
Well, I can
Like,
tell you
I'm
a
used to
place
that.
where that you probably hate worse than any place that we ever go to, and it's where I have that reaction because I like don't realize I'm falling into a fake conversation, and then they let me know during the conversation that it's fake. And it's
'Cause
when I
they
go-
ask you something and
when
they
I go
don't
to
care
when I go
about-
to Mighty Fine Hamburgers. And they go, hey, sir, how's your day? I go, good, how's yours? And they go, mighty fine. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. Throwing your goddamn branding out.
I
Like,
agree.
at least then they just trap you and they fucking hammer you for taking part in
I
it.
have heard that before. Mighty fine. Like, have you had a mighty fine day? It's like, well, have you fucked yourself today? Because you can shove this hamburger up your fucking ass.
I don't like it. I don't
we're
like, I
off
don't like it. I don't like it when places make their employees say certain things.
Yeah.
I want to.
Like-
I want to now get a job somewhere where that's completely irrelevant, like Jersey Mike's, and someone will be like, "I'll be like, how's your day?" And they'll be like, "Good. How's yours?" And I'll be like, "Jersey Mike's." It just won't make any sense.
All right. Well, we got to start wrapping up here.
But no, this is my issue with stuff with options.
Do it.
Is that if you
Stuff
want
with options.
if you want an option, like say I order a turkey wrap and I don't want mayo. That's not true, by the way. I love mayo. I would say I'll have the turkey wrap without mayo. But I want it with everything that it comes with. So when I say I'll have the turkey wrap, they'll be like, "Do you want that as it comes?"
Yup.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I just ordered a turkey wrap and I had no modifications with
Yeah.
it. I'm just so terrified of keeping anyone waiting that whenever I'm eating at a restaurant, I've already decided my backup or like. If a waiter comes up to me and says,
Wow.
"Do you need a minute?" I never need a minute. So basically,
wow.
before I've sat down, I've glanced at the menu. I'm like, in an emergency, I'm going to order that.
That's
I don't want that necessarily, but I can say that if someone comes by and asks me to order.
That's
and
funny.
then I decide what I actually want if I have time.
Wow.
But I always have like a backup order. So it's like, "Do you need a minute?" It's like, no, I'll have the burger, the big ass burger.
That's funny, a bit extreme, but I don't know if we told the story or not. Happened that exact same scenario in New York Comic Con last year, going to a fucking diner. It was like me, Barbara, and Chris. And it's like, I ordered. The guy's like, hey, what do you want? I was like, I ordered. And then Barbara ordered. And then Chris ordered. Yep. And they were like, oh yeah, I'm going to have that today. And he was like,
Did you just turn around and walk out?
The worst is when just
like he freaked the fuck out. Like he had no idea. It was like also your family's dead. Like he had no idea what to do.
It was like that animated adventure
yeah.
where he orders a drink and he just takes forever.
Yeah, it was like, while Gavin's is a bit extreme, I can actually respect that because he was like, his world crumbled in front of him because it was like, yeah, we don't have that sandwich. And he was like, oh, he just cracked the cyanide pill and he was dead.
Fucking thing I hate more than anything else is when the waiter brings the food and they said, they're standing there with hot plates serving you your food. They go, who had the enchiladas? Everybody's like, and I'm like, he did. He had the fucking enchiladas. Yeah. You had enchiladas. He goes, oh, what, me? Yeah, I had enchiladas. No one seems to understand what that process
I have
is.
the same problem. I feel like I have to play air traffic controller.
Right, yeah.
And then the waiter comes like, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's
you're drawing
Yeah,
lines
yeah,
above
yeah,
the
yeah,
back
yeah,
of the
yeah,
table.
like,
like
does
that,
anybody
yeah.
need anything? No, I guess not.
Monty, it's awful going out.